What is up, guys? Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny. We are back with another This Week in Destiny, giving you all the heads up on everything that you can expect for the up and coming week. This week sees the launch of Lightfall and Season 20, Season of Defiance. We have a new destination, a new campaign, loads of new exotics, and as well as that, we have a breakdown of what to expect this week, including the featured raid and dungeon content, the dares loot, and so much more. So be sure to stick around and enjoy the video. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a comment and rating down below, and remember to subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. Just over 60% of the viewers on the channel aren't currently subscribed, so make sure to hit that red button and ring that bell to ensure you don't miss an update. But without further delay, guys, let's jump into the video. Another week and another This Week in Destiny. This week is the launch of Lightfall, the latest expansion in the Destiny 2 franchise. The game will be going offline for 24 hours on Monday at 9 AM Pacific time. So if you haven't already claimed all your challenges, triumphs, all the loot from your season pass, and unequipped this season's seasonal mods, then make sure to do that before Monday's daily reset to help ensure that you can land on both feet once Lightfall launches on Tuesday. Now, if you've been hiding under a rock for the last few weeks and aren't too sure what to expect when Lightfall lands, we made a video over the weekend covering all the main features to expect and the kind of things we can get our hands on once Lightfall launches. If you haven't checked out that video, make sure to do so, and I'll leave the link to that down in the video description below. Now, as well as a new campaign, a destination, and a ton full of features, Lightfall also launches with 7 brand new exotics. We see brand new exotics for each class, as well as 4 unique weapons. So for your hunters, you have the Sechrist's Facade, and this is where using grapple will grant Woven Mail. Now, this is new for Lightfall, and this particular effect gives you resistance against flinch after grappling. For your Titans, you have the Abiant Leap, and this is where the barricade spawns additional lashes. Once again, lashes are new for Lightfall, and these travel across the ground, suspending any targets they hit in the air. For your warlocks, you have the Swarmers exotic boots, and this is where destroying tangles create swarmers. Now, these swarmers will hunt down targets after destroying tangles and defeat all your enemies for you. Now, as for exotic weapons, we have the Final Warming and exotic strand sidearm that comes with charged tracking rounds. And that's alongside the Deterministic Chaos, an awesome void machine gun. Now, this machine gun has 2 interactions. This is where the 4th bullet will weaken your targets with the 16th round, creating a volatile explosion. We also see a brand new exotic catalyst for the Quickstorm auto rifle, and this is where grenades create tangles on kills. But the exotic I'm looking forward to the most is called Winterbite. This is a awesome heavy stasis glaive, and this allows you to freeze enemies with a frost orb. These are just some of the few exotics and catalysts we can expect in Lightfall, but fully expect to discover more over the up and coming weeks. Now, from here, we're going to move on to what we do know about the up and coming reset, kicking off with the featured raid and dungeon content. Now, the first featured raid for Season 20 will be The Last Wish. This can be found over in the Dreaming City, and as always, as the featured raid, all the challenges will be available. Perfect once again if you haven't finished your Rivenbane Seal, but also by defeating Riven, the final boss, and completing Queen's Walk, that will also grant you a pinnacle reward. We'll all be back on the power grind once Lightfall launches. Featured raid and dungeon content might be one of the last ones on your list if you're looking to hold on to your pinnacles until you've completed all your powerful rewards, but nevertheless it's still well worth running as we find ourselves on a new path to power. Alongside the Last Wish raid, we also see the Prophecy Dungeon return. This was launched back in Season of Arrivals, which feels like such a long time ago, but this dungeon really stands the test of time. It's still one of the best and one of my personal favourite dungeons in the game, and much like the Last Wish, if you can take out the final boss, they'll also grant that very important pinnacle reward. Both of these will be well worth running this week, so make sure to add them to your list. And if you want to focus on optimising your power grind, then I highly recommend checking out destinyrecipes.com, as this will help you track your path to power and also provide recommendations on the activities you should be running to optimize your power grind. If you haven't checked that out already, make sure to do so, and I'll leave the link to that down in the video description below. Now, next up, we're going to move on to Dares of Eternity and this 30th Anniversary Pack activity. And this week sees the Wild Hunt armor set return. This launched back in Season of the Hunt, and that will be partnered by the Scatterhorn armor set that launched in Forsaken. It's important to note that all the loot pools are subject to change, but as far as we currently know, no changes are expected in the Dares of Eternity loot pool. If there are any changes though, I'll be sure to add them to the pinned comment down in the comments below. But as we see Season of the Hunt armor, we also have Season of the Hunt weapons, including the Arsenic Bite bow, the Blaster 2 grenade launcher, the Corsair's Wrath linear fusion rifle, the Deafening Whisper energy grenade launcher, the Dire Promise hand cannon, the Enigma's Draw sidearm, the Escape Velocity SMG, the Gian 7 pulse rifle, the Royal Chase scout rifle, the True Prophecy hand cannon, the Friction Fire SMG, and also the Timeline's Vertex fusion rifle. Some of these weapons are still absolutely well worth chasing, especially things like the Deafening Whisper, and whilst it's very unlikely Dares is top of your list when jumping into Lightfall, at least make sure to run Dares on Legend to pick up that sweet pinnacle reward. Now next up we're going to move on to the weekly rituals, and we have a returning Nightfall for Season 20 in the Proving Grounds. This will be the very first Nightfall in Season 20, and as we all know, the first Nightfall of any season are some of the hardest as we are so underpowered. We'll certainly need to prove our worth over in the Proving Grounds, but in terms of Nightfall exclusive rewards, we have a few new weapons returning to the loot pool. We aren't too sure exactly which weapon will be first in Season 20, but this season's loot pool includes the Hung Jury SR4 Scout Rifle, the Swarm Machine Gun, which is returning, alongside the Buzzard Sidearm. We also see the Militia's Birthright continue in rotation, alongside the Mindbender's Ambition, and also the Wendigo GL3. Now, one of the biggest changes coming to Nightfalls in Season 20 is that Zavala will be also offering Nightfall weapon focusing. First, you'll need to acquire the weapon from the Nightfall Strike, but once you've done that, you'll be able to focus Vanguard engrams to pick up additional drops directly from the vendor. This will cost 1 Vanguard engram, 20,000 Glimmer, and 50 Legendary Shards. Later in the season, when Grandmaster Nightfalls launch though, this will also include Adept Nightfall weapons, and you'll need Adept Nightfall ciphers that are exclusive to the Grandmaster difficulty. It gives us an alternative way of accessing the Nightfall weapons each and every week, whether that be the regular version or even the Adept version later in the season. Which weapon are you hoping to be in rotation in week 1 of Season 20? Be sure to let me know down in the comments below. Now moving on to the Crucible, we see Rift return into the Crucible Rotator. Now Rift returned as a game mode for Iron Banner, which has since moved on to Fortress as its dedicated game mode. And with Rift being featured in the Crucible Rotator, it's highly likely we'll see seasonal challenges linked to it in the first week of Season of Defiance. So if you're looking to wrap up those seasonal challenges or earn an easy pinnacle reward, then you'll need to jump into Crucible in the first week of Season of Defiance. So there we have it guys, a good look on some of the things that you can expect in the first week of Lightfall and Season of Defiance. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to check out one of the 2 videos you see here in these cards for more Destiny 2 content. And if you want to keep up to date with everything to do with Destiny 2, then be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to back into the game as always guys, and I will catch you all again very soon.